Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today. Whenever we talk about India's massive economic growth, our minds instantly jump to those really grand, highly visible projects, right? We picture sprawling new airports, skyline-altering mega developments, endless miles of high-speed rail. But how do those actually get built? Well, behind every historic gold rush, there are the companies quietly selling the picks and shovels. And today we're exploring Sambhv Steel Tubes, a company that's positioning itself right at the foundational layer of India's booming ecosystem. I want you to take a quick second and look past the shiny new buildings and the gleaming exteriors of those modern railways. What is literally holding all of that up? What truly powers India's infrastructure boom? The reality is, beneath the surface of the construction, real estate, and energy sectors lies a crucial and honestly often hidden layer of heavy manufacturing. Without this foundational layer, producing the physical structural materials, all those multi-billion-dollar infrastructure plans, well, they'd simply stay on paper. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, India's infrastructure boom. Second, a look inside Sambhv Steel Tubes. Third, the backward integration advantage. Fourth, FY25 financial fundamentals. And finally, technicals, trends, and risks. Starting right off with part one, India's infrastructure boom. The sheer scale of industrial expansion and urban development happening right now is just staggering. Take a look at the sectors driving this massive demand for steel. We're talking about widespread construction activity, massive investments in water infrastructure, a nationwide industrial manufacturing push, expanding energy projects, and rapid urban housing development. When the government and private sectors pour capital into these areas, they aren't just buying blueprints, right? They are buying millions of tons of steel. They require massive, long-term quantities of pipes and structural tubes to act as the physical foundations for this unprecedented growth. Which brings us to part two, inside Sambhv Steel Tubes. While the giant infrastructure companies are out there winning the bids to actually build these mega projects, manufacturers like Sambhv are the ones producing the materials required to bring them to life. Things like electric resistance welded or ERW steel pipes, galvanized iron pipes, structural tubes, and steel coils. They also produce value-added coated products, which is great because it helps support their profit margins and diversify what they offer. These aren't consumer gadgets. These are the physical skeletons of water supply systems, industrial manufacturing plants, and heavy engineering projects. And it's super important to understand that Sambhv is not merely a middleman trading business. Not at all. They're a multi-stage manufacturer. They handle everything from raw sponge iron and steel production, moving right into manufacturing intermediate products like steel coils, all the way down to producing the finished pipes, tubes, and structural products. They are deeply involved in absolutely every step of the journey. Moving on to part three, the backward integration advantage. So what does backward integration actually mean for their bottom line? Think of it kind of like a restaurant that grows its own vegetables. By making their own sponge iron and steel coils before turning them into finished pipes, Sambhv cuts out the middleman. This gives them incredible cost control and seriously protects their profit margins. By operating across these early stages of the manufacturing process, they inherently improve their cost efficiency, they gain much better operational control, and they have way greater flexibility in what is a highly competitive market. Let's look at the numbers in Part 4, FY25 Financial Fundamentals. The financial performance here really reflects a manufacturing company actively benefiting from all this industrial demand and an improving operational scale. In FY24, revenue was 1,286 crore rupees. But look at FY25, it jumped to roughly 1,511 crore. That is a really clear, solid 17.5% year-over-year growth trajectory. And this wasn't just a fluke. This growth was directly supported by higher sales volumes as infrastructure activity increased, right along with an improving mix of those value-added products we mentioned earlier. 1,111 crore. I just want to pause on that number for a second so you can really grasp the sheer scale of the operation here. As construction activity across the country increases, the company is successfully leveraging its larger operating scale to capture a very significant piece of the pie. But hey, revenue is only half the story. The profit growth is where things get really interesting. In FY25, profit after tax reached roughly 82 crore rupees. That's up from about 60 crore in FY24. That indicates a highly impressive profit growth of more than 35%. And here is exactly where that backward integration really flexes its muscles. Notice how EBITDA margins are holding relatively steady around 11 to 12%. In a highly competitive steel product sector, maintaining those margins is direct evidence of strong cost control and operational efficiency. Net profit margins are sitting around 5 to 5.5%. And the return ratios are remarkably strong, too. Return on equity for FY25 stood at approximately 25%, with return on capital employed around 17 to 18%.
Alongside the income, the balance sheet itself has strengthened considerably. This 0.8x figure is their new debt-to-equity ratio for FY25. That is a very solid drop from the 1.35x we saw back in FY24, indicating vastly improved financial stability. At the same time, their net worth has climbed past 400 crore rupees, supported by their profitability growth and internal accruals. Basically, they're generating healthier operating cash flows and reinvesting it straight into capacity expansion and even further backward integration capabilities.
Finally, Part 5, Technicals, Trends, and Risks. Now, we need to be objective here. This paints the classic yes, but scenario of industrial manufacturing. Yes, the structural tailwinds are absolutely phenomenal. Government spending, housing booms, and industrial pushes provide immense long-term demand visibility. But this business is definitely not without serious risks. It is heavily tied to cyclical dynamics. Profitability is heavily influenced by wildly unpredictable commodity prices, specifically things like iron ore and coal. Furthermore, broader steel demand cycles and industry-wide pricing pressure during weaker economic cycles can put a real squeeze on those profit margins. From a market perspective, the stock is behaving exactly like you'd expect a newly listed industrial player to behave. As of May 2026, it's been consolidating broadly in the 115 to 125 rupee range as it attempts to build a base amidst investor optimism. It's experienced periods of strong upward movement driven by the exact infrastructure demands we've discussed, followed by these phases of consolidation. The volume behavior shows active participation from both retail and institutional sides, particularly around quarterly results and expansion announcements, though its relative strength is currently moderate compared to some of emerging industrial companies. Before we wrap up today, just a quick reminder that this explainer is solely for educational purposes and does not constitute investment advice. We're simply unpacking the source material to help you understand the landscape. Investing in small cap and cyclical stocks involves significant risk, so please always conduct your own due diligence and consult a professional before making any financial decisions. So we've seen the macro demand, we've explored the integrated business model, and we've analyzed the rock-solid FY25 financials alongside the inherent commodity risks, which leaves me with this final thought for you to ponder. As India aggressively builds its infrastructure future, will Sambhv Steel Tubes' long-term execution and capacity expansion be enough to outpace the inevitable cyclical swings of the global steel market? Thank you so much for joining me today. If this explainer helped you grasp how this hidden layer of manufacturing works within India's economic ecosystem, please share it with your friends, family, or curious colleagues. After all, sharing knowledge benefits absolutely everyone. Keep learning, stay focused, and I will see you next time.